Ladies and gentlemen, North Ridgeville City Council meeting is now in session. Today is Monday, March 21st, 2022. Please rise for the invocation and pledge of allegiance. Father, as we enter the season of spring, we pause to thank you for the gift of your creation. We ask you for your continued guidance to help us collectively make prudent decisions for the city of North Ridgeville and its residents. We thank you for the wonderful community in which we live and for the opportunity to represent it at our city council. We pray these things in your name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Clerk, please call the roll.
Swain. Here. Booth.
Here.
Hazen.
Here.
Lincoln.
Here.
Aywood. Here. DeVries.
Here.
Jacobs.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
Service Director. Law Director.
Here.
Engineer.
Here.
Auditor. Here. Assistant Clerk Council. Here.
Tonight we have before us the City Council public hearing meeting minutes dated March 7th, 2022. Are there any changes or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, those minutes are approved as submitted. Also before us this evening, we have the City Council meeting minutes dated March 7th, 2022. Are there any changes or corrections to those minutes? Hearing none, those minutes are approved as submitted. Please note we also have before us this evening the Civil Service Commission meeting minutes dated March 9th, 2022, the Planning Commission meeting minutes dated March 8th, 2022, and the Parks and Recreation Commission meeting minutes dated February 23rd, 2022. That brings us to our lobby session. This time we will open the lobby session to allow an opportunity for the public to address council and city administration. Anybody who wishes to speak may approach the podium and will be allowed up to 3 minutes to speak regarding any matter related to the business of city council or the general affairs of the city. And so at this time, the lobby session is open. Anybody who wishes to speak this evening? Okay, hearing none, we will move on to administrative reports. Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have a short report this evening. There are several items that I'll be asking for the emergency clause on. 246, 48, 51, 54. And I'll give you the reasons when we get to those. Copy and conversation comes around again. It is Wednesday morning, 8:30 to 9:30 here in council chambers. That's March 23rd. And if you're interested in hearing about some of the things that are going on in the city on an informal basis, stop on by for that. Also on March 23rd, we have the city is hosting a school levy presentation over at the Senior Center. It's called Tea Suites and All That Jazz. There'll be a performance by the North Ridgeville High School Jazz Band and then a levy presentation after that. That's Wednesday late afternoon at 4 p.m. at the Senior Center. And then I don't know if you've noticed, but there's some additional videos making their way out there. My weekly video, I took it on the road this week. And we've done another follow-up video for the state of North Ridgeville superintendent and I. We've got a couple more of those to do as we move forward. So keep an eye out on the city's website and some of the social media pages for that information, but lots of good stuff out there. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Engineer.
Sorry, I'm usually not the second person. So out to bid right now, we have the 2022 crack snow project. That just went out this morning in the paper for the first time. Bids will open on that project April 5th. And that project covers a variety, or should I say variety, a various amount of roads throughout the city, typically about 75 miles worth of lanes. So right now we have a couple of subdivisions picked out. I think Timber Ridge is on that list. A couple other ones, skips the top of my head right now, but it will cover a variety of area throughout the city. Center Ridge Road Sanitary Sewer Extension, that project is finally turned the corner and is actually making some progress. We are progressing east down Center Ridge Road to the border. There are 2 crews working on that project, and each crew is digging approximately anywhere from 16 to 20 feet deep. The first crew is actually digging through rock for about 6 or 7 feet. So it is extensive, it's hard work, but they're getting it in and moving right along. So our completion for that project is June 2nd. Barring any difficulties more, we should be able to meet that, not a problem. And then as Mayor suggested, there T46 on the agenda tonight for water asset management. This is something that we talked about at budget time. We're just moving forward with that at this point. And so we'll get that underway and make sure that we're meeting all our revised code as well as the Ohio administrative codes. That concludes my report for this evening.
Thank you. So,
Thank you, Council President. Before council tonight is T54, which is a resolution authorizing the execution of vendor certificates. I'd like to ask council to consider adopting this tonight with the emergency clause. The invoices included in Exhibit A are pending payment, waiting for his certification. So allowing us to move forward with the payment is important. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. President, one more comment, please. I was checking the calendar and I realized that our next meeting is April 4th. And from what I've heard, both Drug Mart and Starbucks are going to open on April 4th. So just wanted to pass that out to people. It is.
all right, the auditor has also submitted the February 2022 financial report. And additionally, we have the February 2022 Mayor's Court Report, the February 2022 Police Department Report, and the February 2022 Parks and Recreation Director Report. Next up is correspondence. Clerk, if you could please read the correspondence.
Yes. A letter from Clerk of Council Nancy Linden, a notice of resignation as Clerk of Council effective March 31st, 2022, and expressing her appreciation for the opportunity to serve the city of North Richmond.
There is no old business on the agenda this evening. Under new business, we have the Planning Commission report of Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. Clerk, please read the application.
Planning Commission report of Tuesday, March 8th, 2022. City of North Ridgeville, 77 Ranger Way. Parcel number 070001610423. Applicant Andrews Smelters Agriculture Vision Group Limited, 23850 Sperry Drive, Westlake, Ohio 44145. Project, the proposal consists of a new police station for the city of North Ridgeville property. Property is zoned R-1. Planning Commission action approved by a vote of 4-0.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Ravens.
I'd like to make a motion to approve.
Second.
It was moved by Abens and seconded by DeVries to approve Planning Commission's action. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. Okay. And then while we're still under new business, I'd like to at this time open the floor for nominations for the vacant Clerk of Council seat. And I'll begin by nominating Jessica Shull with an effective date of April 1st, 2022. Are there any other nominations at this time? It was moved by Jacobson, seconded by Awig to nominate Jessica Scholl, the clerk of council position with an effective date of April 1st, 2022. And just take a moment to share some information with you about Jessica. She is a longtime resident of the city of North Ridgeville. She's a proud mother of three and grandmother of three as well. She attended Lorain County Community College in their elementary education program, and is a former preschool teacher and daycare operator as well. She currently is employed by the Elyria Municipal Court, serving as the compliance officer for Judge Bennett, and is the former assistant probation officer for Judge Musson and the former assignment commissioner for Judge White. Jessica's been very interested and involved in local politics, been involved in several campaigns for many years at both the local and county levels. And she has previously served as treasurer to local PTA groups and is involved as well with the North Ridgeville Republican Club. Are there any other questions or comments at this time? Okay, well, again, it was moved by Jacob, seconded by Awig to nominate Jessica effective April 1st. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. Okay, congratulations, Jessica.
Thank you.
And that will bring us to the recess portion of the meeting.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Winkle.
move to dispense with recess.
Second.
It was moved by Winkle and seconded by Booth to dispense with recess. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. All right, let's skip recess and move on to first readings. Please read T45.
T45 2022, an ordinance amending ordinance number 5904 2022, which was for adding restroom facilities to the Shady Drive batting cage area at the Shady Drive complex by increasing the amount from $246,500 to $255,000.
Mr. President,
Yes.
can I ask the mayor, is there any urgency in this or the engineer due to cost involved for the project?
It would be nice to, but we have not amended appropriations. So we'll do that next time, and then we'll be able to pass this with the emergency.
Very good, thank you.
You're welcome.
T46.
T46 2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract according to law and in a manner prescribed by law with a consulting engineering firm for the city of North Ridgeville water asset management plan not to exceed $75,000.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr.
move to dispense with the second and third readings for T46.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to dispense with the second and third readings for T46. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause. Our city engineer, Mr. Rodriguez, pointed out that we have discussed this during the budget process several months ago. It's something that is important to the city, gives us another planning tool that we can use as far as our water asset management is concerned. And it's something that will be valuable for years to come.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to add the emergency clause to T46 for the reasons stated by the mayor. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was then moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to adopt T46 with the emergency clause in place. This time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awig,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously and becomes 5925 2022.
T47.
An ordinance amending NRCO section 242.04, Public Utilities Department by adding a subsection for uncollectible accounts.
T48.
T48 2022, an ordinance amending ordinance number 59 2021, 5921-2022, which was for advertising and entering a contract for a 12-month period for the purchase of chemicals to be used by the French Creek wastewater treatment plant.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
move to dispense with the second and third readings for T40.
Second.
It's moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to dispense with the second and third readings for T48. All in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause. Reason being, the last meeting we passed this ordinance, there needed to be a slight adjustment to it. We had used the word contract. In the last ordinance, it's actually multiple contracts. So because the S was missing, come back to amend that previous ordinance, and therefore would like to have this passed with the emergency clause as well.
Second.
Okay, it was moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to add the emergency clause to T48 for the reasons stated by the mayor. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor, say yes.
Yes.
All opposed, say no. It was then moved by the mayor and seconded by Winkle to adopt T48 with the emergency clause in place. Are there any questions or comments?
Excuse me, Mr. President.
Yes, Mr. Aaron.
Question I had, you said the last one that we approved said contract.
Yes, and there were 4 chemicals that were listed, I
Well,
believe.
again, the word
6.
contract is used here again.
In the title is a restatement of the previous ordinance, but in the body of this ordinance, T48, the S appears there.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Davis,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Aywood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously and becomes 5926-2022.
T49.
T49-2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Richmond to enter into an agreement with Ernst Corporation according to law and in a manner prescribed by law for professional engineering services for the French Creek Interceptor Sewer Inspection, Manhole Inspection, and Condition Assessment Update 2022, not to exceed $170,000.
T50.
T50-2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with the city of Elyria for the purchase of water.
T51.
T51-2022, an ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of North Ridgeville or his designee to publicly advertise and receive bids for the sale of equipment that no longer serves a municipal purpose, to seek quotes for the purchase of a new Colbaco SK45 SRX7 excavator and auxiliary equipment for the use of several city departments, to have the selling price of the itemized equipment credited against the purchase price of the new Colbert SK45 SRX7 excavator and auxiliary equipment, and to enter an agreement with the lowest and best bidder not to exceed $65,000.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. Mayor.
there, that was rather long. Sorry, I fell asleep waiting for it to be over. We have an amended version of T51 in front of you that we would like to swap out for this. So I'm making a motion to amend by substitution the version that's in front of you. In essence, there is no public bidding or public advertising that we're going to be doing with this. This is going to be bought off the state bid list. We actually have to move quickly. I mentioned earlier that I would ask for the emergency clause. This is somewhat of a gift. The state bid list is being adjusted shortly, and so this price will only be available for a couple of days.
On
at
March
best.
30th, 31st.
So we need to pass this with the emergency clause so we can get this lower price locked in before it goes away. So the motion is to amend by substitution T51, the version in front of you.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Awig to substitute T51 2022 with the amended version for the reasons stated by the mayor. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no.
Mr. President, move to dispense with the second and third readings for T51 amended.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Awig to dispense with the second and third readings for T51 amended. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no.
Mr. President, move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause for the reasons I stated earlier, but specifically so we can get a lower price.
Second.
It was moved by the mayor and seconded by Awig to add the emergency clause to T51 amended for the reasons stated by the mayor. On the emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was then moved by the mayor and seconded by Awig to adopt T51 amended with the emergency clause in place. Are there any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swing.
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
Avon.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Awig. Yes. DeVries.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously and becomes 5927-2022.
T52,
T52-2022, a resolution approving participation in Region 19 governance structure under the One Ohio Memorandum of Understanding.
T53,
T53-2022, an ordinance authorizing the execution of then and now certificates by the city fiscal officer and the payment of amounts due for various purchase orders.
and I'll refer T53 to the finance committee. T54,
T54-2022, a resolution to authorize the execution of then and now certificates by the fiscal officer and the payment of amounts due for various purchase orders.
Mr. President,
yes, Mr. DeVries.
move to dispense with the second and third reading.
Second.
It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Swank to dispense with the second and third readings for T54. All in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mr. DeVries.
move to adopt.
Second.
Mr. President, move to add the emergency clause so that we can go ahead and get these purchase orders paid in a timely manner.
Second.
It was moved by DeVries and seconded by Swank to add the emergency clause to T54 in order to pay the purchase orders in a timely manner. On that emergency clause alone, all in favor say yes.
Yes.
All opposed say no. It was then moved by DeVries and seconded by Swank to adopt T54 with that emergency clause in place. At this time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink.
Yes.
Booth.
Yes.
Avon.
Yes.
Winkle.
Yes.
Awig. Yes. DeVries.
Yes.
Jacobs.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously and becomes 1559-2022.
That wraps up first readings. On the second readings, T39.
T39-2022, an ordinance amending NRCO section 1444.12 miscellaneous permit fees by amending certain subsections.
T41.
T41-2022, a resolution to approve with modification the application made by Jane M. Elliott to have certain land owned by them designated as being located within an agricultural district.
T42.
T42-2022, a resolution to approve with modification the application with made by Joseph M. and Joyce Marie Solomon to have certain land owned by them designated as being located within an agricultural district.
And third readings, T32.
T32-2022, an ordinance amending NRCO section 1044.01, user charges sewer by adding a subsection entitled building corrections.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mrs. Swank.
move to approve.
Second.
Adopt and
It was moved by Swank and seconded by Winkle to adopt T32. Are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacob.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously and becomes 5928 twenty twenty-two.
T33.
T 33-2022, an ordinance amending NRCO section 1058.11, billing and collection stormwater by adding a subsection entitled by billing corrections.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mrs. Swing.
move to adopt.
Second.
It was moved by Swink and seconded by Winkle to adopt T33. Any comments or questions at this time? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swing,
Yes.
Booth,
Yes.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacob.
Yes.
The motion carried unanimously and becomes 5929 twenty twenty-two.
T34.
T 34-2022, an ordinance amending NRCO chapter 1060, garbage and refuse collection and disposal by adding a section entitled building collections.
Mr. President,
Yes, Mrs. David.
I move to adopt. Second.
It was moved by Awig, seconded by Swink to adopt T34. This time, are there any comments or questions? Hearing none, clerk, please call the roll.
Swink,
Yes.
Booth,
Yeah.
Avens,
Yes.
Winkle,
Yes.
Awood,
Yes.
DeVries,
Yes.
Jacob.
Yes.
A motion carried unanimously and becomes 5930 twenty twenty-two.
The next regular council meeting will be held here in City Council Chambers on Monday, April 4th, 2022 at 7 p.m. At this time, are there any final comments or questions? This meeting is adjourned.
Which one I got to move after that?
So your daughter, baby? Oh, my goodness. She's such a little chunk. I can't wait around that many. Yeah. Hi. Nice to meet you.